This story takes place 27 years after the First Corporate War. The Nest by Sean Carrière. Chapter 17. Back inside the bank, Bench Press was still examining the young girl as best he could, despite her radiation suit. He'd been able to check her pulse through a zipper pocket in the sleeve, and he was now shining a penlight into her eyes through her helmet's visor. Physically, there didn't seem to be anything wrong with the girl. Still, she didn't respond when spoken to, her expression remained blank, and her body remained limp. The other strange thing was how she kept staring at the oak doors at the other end of the room. It was like she expected someone to come walking into the bank at any moment. The whole time Bench Press was examining the girl, her gaze never left the front doors. Bench Press stood up as he kept looking at the mystery girl seated before him, her gloved hands still secured in front of her with plastic cuffs. The team's medic didn't figure the girl as any kind of threat. She certainly didn't look like a threat.
What the hell was she doing in the company of an escaped terrorist?
The big man asked himself.
How did she get mixed up in all of this? Maybe she's just one of Danny Blue's groupies, and things got a little too real for her when she helped bust him out.
The team's medic assumed.
Seeing real death during the escape was probably a harsher wake-up call than the poor thing could handle.
Before Bench Press could finish writing the girl's backstory, Kyle and Laura came down the stairs.
Sam, Bench Press, get those two ready to move.
Kyle said as he and Laura walked out the front doors of the bank.
We're rolling out in 5 minutes.
Once outside the bank, Kyle and Laura made their way to her pickup truck and climbed in. From the driver's seat, Laura started working the infotainment system and brought the radiation map up on the monitor. Laura had examined the western route out of the C-zone when they were still in Iron Horse, but she needed a quick refresher. Kyle looked over the radiation map again, more slowly and carefully this time. As the young bounty hunter scrolled their route on the infotainment screen, he made mental notes of all possible choke points.
If I wanted to ambush me, where would I do it?
Kyle asked himself.
Laura, keep the engine running.
The young bounty hunter said before climbing out of the truck and marching back toward the bank.
I'm going to help Sam and Bench Press load the cargo.
As he walked, Kyle looked to the western sky and noticed for the first time a line of dark clouds paralleling the horizon like a razor's edge. The young bounty hunter immediately turned on his heel and ran back to Laura's truck. He swung the passenger side door open and jumped back in.
Bring the map back up,
Kyle ordered. Laura waved her gloved right hand over the infotainment screen, and the radiation map reappeared. With his gloved left hand, Kyle reached over and punched 2 buttons beneath the monitor. The blotchy, multicolored radiation filter had disappeared, and the image became a normal satellite shot. Both Laura and Kyle died a little inside when they saw the rain clouds 5 clicks west of their position.
Sam,
Kyle began to say over his suit's radio.
When you were monitoring the weather network and checking the wind patterns, did you happen to notice a rainstorm west of our position?
Back inside the bank, Sam was still standing behind Danny Blue. The team's breacher remembered the weather report he'd seen just a couple hours earlier. If it wasn't for the visor of his radiation suit, Sam would have done a classic facepalm.
Oh, shit.
Sam said.
Sorry, boss. I must have forgotten to tell you about the rainstorm back when we were at the bridge.
Am I missing something?
Bench Press asked.
Seriously, is something wrong?
Everyone has a breaking point, and Laura finally reached hers.
God damn it, Sam.
The wheel woman shouted into her suit's radio.
I swear if we make it out of this fucking mess, I'm gonna rip your nutsack off and make you wear it like a clown nose.
Luckily, the prisoners' radiation suits were not equipped with radios. This meant Danny Blue and Mouse were left out of the team's conversation. All the better for Sam to hide his embarrassment.
Everybody, just shut up and let me think.
Kyle barked. The team obeyed. A brief moment of silence passed, and then their leader spoke again.
Okay, here's the situation. Rain is falling west of our position, temporarily sealing off our route out of the C-zone.
Back inside the bank, Danny Blue was still on his knees with his hands secured in front of him with plastic cuffs. The terrorist looked over at bench press and sensed something was amiss just by how much straighter the big man stood.
The bad news is we're stuck here until the rain stops.
Kyle continued over the team's radios.
The good news is we can turn this to our advantage.
What's the plan, boss?
Laura asked, a little ashamed of herself for having lost her cool a moment earlier.
Turns out, our boy Danny Blue was pretty smart when he took shelter in the bank.
Kyle explained.
Not only do the thick walls provide extra shielding from the rats, the building itself is an easily defendable fortress.
Back inside the bank, both Sam and Bench Press looked around the large room they were standing in before nodding to each other in silent agreement.
On top of that, this is the narrowest point along the lower radiation alley.
Kyle went on.
There's only one way the young revolutionaries can approach us, making this an ideal ambush site.
Up on the roof, Slick listened to the boss and admired his tactical thinking. From his position along the front western corner of the bank's roof, the team's sniper had a clear line of sight down the only road the young revolutionaries could approach by, while avoiding hot zones to each side. Slick knew there was no need to worry about the parallel street behind them as it was torn up with the scourge of all cities, road construction. The team's sniper had looked over the back of the building earlier and glanced westward. About 60 meters up, several abandoned construction vehicles surrounded a big hole in the middle of the street, a water main that never got replaced. This made flanking the team's position extremely unlikely.
Sam,
Kyle went on.
I need you to rig up some party favors for when our unwanted guests arrive.
This was Sam's opportunity to redeem himself after his colossal fuck-up, and the Breacher was both grateful to Kyle and anxious to make it up to everybody else by doing what he did best, blowing shit up.
Sure thing, boss.
Sam answered back.
I can whip us all up some real nice party favors.